All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you and welcome to our 25th Marine South Expo. In a little while, the Commandant of the Marine Corps League, Richard Gore, will talk to us, and so will the 1 MEF commander, good battle buddy of mine, Lee Miller, who's been in combat multiple times. He's a great commander. But first of all and foremost, thank you all for being here. What I think is very, very important is this technology and these programs that are being presented today in the booth behind me really reflects how industry and how all the different organizations want to serve and protect our armed forces and their families. There's so much in there. So a little bit more in just a minute, but I'm very honored to be a member of the Marine Corps League, which is represented right here, because they, throughout all of America, all 75,000 members of them, also back home in America, they're the type of organizations that when you transition, when you go back home and you look for a job or you look for some educational abilities or areas, the Marine Corps League will be there for you. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. March on the colors. Retire the colors. Please be seated. Before I introduce Richard Gore, our Commandant of the Marine Corps League, I just want to look out in the audience, and I think this is one of the largest groups that I've seen in a long time. It's great to see the division commander here, Major General Gator John Love, who just a couple of years ago over in 2-8, we had the opportunity to serve together. And it's also great to see Willie Williams and the other general officers, Mark Faulkner from the Marine Corps Association and Foundation, who has an event tonight over at Marston. But I think what's really, and Sergeant Major, thank you very much, Barrett, for being here, and so many of you that I can't remember all. But again, what's so very important, I think, is when I look out and I see the young Marines, and I see the Deputy MEF Commander who's here as well, Cass Castelvi. What's important for us that you get a little bit older, you get to see the young Marines, and you want to say, did I do everything I could to give them the resources and the different capabilities to protect them and their buddies on the battlefield? And that's what you see right here in the tent behind me. At the same time, did the Marine Corps League, did our Commandant, did all the leadership that's here today, did you give the resources to your family readiness officers and the different programs that take care of our children and our spouses when we deploy? Are those programs in this tent behind me? The answer is absolutely yes. When I deploy, I do not want to worry about my insurance, the upbringing of my children, and different educational opportunities. That's what you see here today. So today, Richard Gore will talk more, and again, my good friend Lee Miller, General Lee Miller, the MEF commander, will talk a little bit more about that. Ladies and gentlemen, Commandant Richard Gore.
General Miller, generals all in attendance, vendors, and Marines. Sergeant Major Barrett asked me if I was going to get up here and tell a joke. Well, yes, I am. It's what I do. My grandson went down to enlist in the service when he was a young kid of 18, and he came home and he says to me, Gramps, he says, I enlisted today. I says, good. I says, when do you report to Parris Island? He looked at me and he said, well, Gramps, first thing I did was I went down, I checked with the Army recruiter. And the Army recruiter said to me, son, be all that you can be. And he said, thank you, sir. He says, I think I'll go to the Marines. So I think he succeeded widely in what he wanted to do, and that was become a U.S. Marine. And I realize that all of the civilians that are out there, a lot of them are military, past military, and that's what we do. We take care of our military. And I realize a lot of you were in other services, Air Force, Army, Navy, Coast Guard, Merchant Marines, but I understand deep in your hearts you all wanted to be Marines, and I understand that. So welcome aboard. It's a pleasure to have you here. I'd like to let you all know that we do have the Women Marines Association, we have the Marine Corps Association, we have the Young Marines of the Marine Corps League on board today. Be sure and ask all of these organizations what they have to offer you, as well as what the Marine Corps League has to offer you. We are going to be working as a team. It's no more just I. There is no I in the Marine Corps League. It's simply team. I never knew anything that said I. Team, 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 all the way. So with that, I'm going to have General Miller come forward through General Regner, because I can't step on General Regner's toes. He'd kick my butt, you know that. So, General Regner.
Yes, sir.
You're for him, sir.
Oh, he needs no real introduction. My battle buddy, Lee Miller. Hoorah!
Thanks. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here this morning. On behalf of Mike, it's not one MEF, 2 Marine Expeditionary Force, and Marine Corps Installations East, I'd like to give you a hearty Carolina MAGTF welcome to the Marine South Expo. This is indeed a great honor, particularly since it's the 25th anniversary of the Marine South Expo. First of all, I want to give special thanks to Major General Regner for inviting me here today. Mike, I'm sorry Mary's not here. I hope your mother-in-law gets well soon. I also want to thank Mr. Rich Gore and the Marines of the Marine Corps League, represented in the red uniforms, as they continue to serve even after hanging up their utilities years ago. The Eagle Golden Anchor still is emblazoned on their hearts, and that's very evident in how they take care of our Marines, sailors, and their families, as well as those families of those that have gone before. Thanks a lot, gentlemen. Please, a round of applause. I was asked by General Regner to talk a little bit about the relationship that we have with industry, my experiences, and what it means to the Marine Corps. When I first joined the Marine Corps in December of 1979, much of the gear that we were issued was from pre-Vietnam era. In fact, I was breaking starch and sateens, as many of y'all did your whole careers. But when you look around today and see the evolution of what we as Marines carry forth into the teeth of combat, the level of innovation and advances in technology of our equipment has been tremendous. Since the beginning of the War on Terror, the relationship that we forged with industry and the developments that have become a result of that relationship have been simply spectacular. As we look at the future, referencing the Marine Corps operating concept, Force 2025, and where our Commandant wants to posture the United States Marine Corps, we have to continue to look at innovative ways to support our warfighters in support of our geographic combatant commander priorities. As General Mattis said, I don't want my Marines or my sailors to go into a fair fight. I want them to have the upper hand. It's up to industry with our innovative young leaders to make that happen. As you interact with your partners in industry today, you'll quickly see that they are answering the call, that you are answering the call to support our future concepts. What we have is a deep understanding of what the Marine Corps requires and how industry is partnering with us to go forward to meet those requirements. I personally want to thank you for that, and I want to thank you for our future Marines and sailors who will benefit from the products that will be developed as a result of the relationship. Thank you again for having me here today, and I encourage everyone to explore and enjoy the expo. I look forward to seeing you out there on the floor. Semper Fidelis.
All right, hey, Lee, thanks so much. And I guess I was just, so impressed by your battle presence once again when we did the Battle of Fallujah just a few years ago. And I just one last thing. If I was getting ready to depart the Marine Corps off active duty and go back home to America, I'd probably get to know some of these vendors in here and just say, sir, ma'am, you represent a good product, a good program. I will be leaving the armed forces, going into the reserves perhaps, and you name the city. Does your corporation hire veterans? Throw it on them. Boom. Lay it down. Next thing I would say to the vendors that are here and all the different industry members, make that opportunity to these young Marines and military members and family members that you're always looking for high quality, and you get no higher quality than a U.S. Marine and or their family members. And for industry out there, you say, how do you break into the Marine Corps? How do you break into the government services and accounting? Marine Corps Systems Command in there, they've got a booth. They will teach you a little bit about how you get your program into the Marine Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Please stand. All right. Charlie's giving me directions. We're going to cut the ribbon. Something this big is a lethal weapon. Right here. Let's go on this side. Right here. Come on, Richard. You go right here. Please remain standing. Anchors away. Hoorah!
Right. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Lee.
Enjoyed it. Rich, thank you very much. Where are you living down in South Carolina?
Georgetown. Went to Wisconsin.
Ah.